First things first, the Yugioh VRAINS English dub has finally been revealed, so if you want to see my reaction to that or just hear some little snippets from it, then check the comments section below, I will post a link there. But we're here today to talk about the latest episode of the Yugioh VRAINS sub, which was interesting. This episode was a big information dump, which is absolutely fine because we learnt a lot of stuff about questions we wasn't too sure about, but we had confirmed in this. And it's always a nice moment to have the protagonist and, so far, the main antagonist just having a little casual conversation where they're not going to be interrupted and they can just sort of get things out of there. And I was very happy to see that when Yusaku asked that we want answers, Revolver was like, well, you deserve the answers and I'm going to tell you them. And he told them. That was fantastic. So this episode starts after the draw. Both apparently were knocked out of VRAINS, which is... haven't seen that happen before, but alright then, so they didn't suffer so much damage that one of them would have been killed and sent to the Tower of Hanoi, but they received enough where they got logged out, probably as like a, let's just pretend in VRAINS, if you get sort of hurt, they sort of eject you out of VRAINS to make sure you're okay. Let's just pretend that's a thing. I don't know if it is or not. However, that doesn't mean the Tower of Hanoi is stopped. It is actually still going, and with the time frame, they need to work really quickly. Literally, as soon as they get out, Yusaku knows exactly where Revolver is due to the mentioning of the Stardust Road, sorry. Starlight Road is the trap card. Stardust Road is the ocean. When they go to the house, we have the reveal where we finally see Ryokan as an adult. Everything, and I must say he looks pretty damn cool. He's probably one of my favourite designed characters as well. He could have been the main character with his style. He's got kind of like white hair with little blue sort of streaks in either side. He's kind of, yeah, he could have absolutely been Yusaku, the design wise, and he looks very confident in his appearance anyway, so it was strange, very refreshing. You can see in Revolver or Ryokan's face that he is visibly distressed about the fact that his father just died, but he realises that there is a bigger thing happening, so he's easy to compose himself after this. There's something that I did like about the exchange between Yusaku and Revolver. Revolver never really looks down on Yusaku. He's always talking to him directly. He never sort of slips into like a maniacal thing where he's like, haha, I'm really evil, haha, I'm going to destroy everything. Because his goal is noble, it's just the actions that he's taking are not. It is here that Revolver reveals the truth behind the lost incident. He describes it simply as this. His father, Dr. Kagami, realised the fact that human life is very fleeting and very fragile. Big meteorite comes down to Earth, kills all the humans, that's the end of humanity. It's a shame. Even simpler to that, humans have a life expectancy. We live and then we die. So obviously, he dislikes this. His solution for this is to create a successor to humanity. He decided that the AIs, an artificial intelligence that was sentient and had its own thoughts and feelings, would be the perfect successor because they would be able to live on in this global event, whatever it may be. I was kind of hoping there would be something in between this and the Lost Incident that would trigger the reason why he would go to such extremes with the Lost Incident event, because he literally goes from having this idea to kidnapping children. So that's something I can't really get on board with Dr. Kogami. Even if he did sacrifice himself in the end, his cause was noble. He wants to prolong humanity's sort of existence on the world, whatever form it is. The fact that he was willing to kidnap children straight away, and I would even argue the fact that, did he really need to kidnap children? Why couldn't he have just got 6 child volunteers that like parents would agree to? Because the reason why he uses kids with dueling is because he says it's the best way to get a grasp of what a human truly is through dueling. And in this universe, I'm absolutely fine with that. However, he never says anything about the fact that it needs to be a life or death situation. The kids need to not know what's going on. They need to think they're really going to die and fight to survive. And this is what kind of person those kids truly are, and this reflects humanity. He doesn't say anything about that. So the fact that he's just willing to kidnap kids and rather just have kids just sort of absorb their data. I'm sure Revolver would have loved to have taken part in this experiment as well to sort of help his dad achieve his goal, but yeah, there you go. Revolver reveals 2 key things about his character in this episode as well. The fact that he didn't fully understand what his father was doing because he was too young. He couldn't confront his father about it. But from hearing the screams from the children inside, he knew something was wrong. So, out of shame, he calls the police to sort of expose the incident and set these children free. He does say straight after he regretted it straight away because his father was literally taken and then put into a virus coma kind of thing. So he regretted it straight away due to the consequences of his action, which he thought he was doing the good thing, and the good thing ended up being a bad thing for him. However, the other key thing is something that we kind of already knew. The voice that spoke to Yusaku when he was kidnapped in there, that gave him hope to continue. The person that taught him the 3 things rule, whichever situation you're in life, was Revolver, which we kind of already knew. However, Revolver says, well, that's kind of ironic, isn't it? My youngest self is giving you the strength now to beat me as older me. Irony. So I really like the fact that Revolver Ryoken is a very interesting and complex antagonist. He's not the main villain. He's more of an anti-villain. I think that was the correct term for it anyway. So I like his character, I like his development that we've been having so far. If you can sympathise with an antagonist, that means that they've created their character well. I kind of see where he's coming from. I kind of understand why Revolver would agree with his father's opinion of destroying the AIs, which we haven't actually touched on. So Dr. Kagami, after all of this, creating the AIs, realises that, wait a minute, if we really think about it, we do these calculations on the supercomputer, this is never going to work. This is going to end up in a wide-scale destruction of the world. And the reason this is because humanity has always been on the top of everything. They've been at the top of the food chain, and they've towered over all of a sentient life on Earth. However, if you introduce intelligent AIs into this thing, then they're going to move above humans, aren't they? Because they're immortal, they think faster, they probably can be stronger. And humanity, they're not a big fan of being down here. So they're going to want to get up here, won't they? So they're going to either try to destroy the AIs, challenge them in whatever way, or just try and push them back down. So, yeah. That sounds pretty much true. I mean, everyone's afraid of AIs becoming the thing in the real world, so makes sense. However, it's in this speech that we get revealed what is going to be the next enemy for Yusaku and probably Revolver if they decide to work together after this event. We'll have to see how it ends up. But it's going to be Soul Technologies. Soul Technologies is profiting on basically the Cyberse, and that's why they want to keep that alive. The Cyberse world that has been created, it's the home for all the AIs, so they're safe. It's also where the Cyberse cards are created. How Yusaku got those Cyberse cards, I'm not too sure, apart from obviously the Storm access ability. The data that's being created there, just think of like the bitcoins, that sort of data stream. Soul Technologies taking all that and making money from it, so it's definitely nefarious on their part. And even Dr. Kagami said that after you dealt with the AIs, deal with Soul Technologies. They're the one that also put me into a coma as well. Sort them out. Just before they go into Link VRAINS to have their final duel, Revolver says something I thought was quite interesting and a little bit I'm not too sure about. He says, "You have the wrong idea about me. I'm not really a good person." So I don't want to analyse that too much, because that just might be how he thinks about himself. He knows what the things he's doing is wrong, even though Yusaku's like, well, you did help me back in the day, and you can stop all this. So, yeah, I think that needs a little bit more analysis of when this season ends or this series ends, just to sort of know what Revolver means by that statement. Anyway, there's not much to talk about the final duel. We had a couple new cards summoned, but the big thing is they got a new Mirror Force card out, which was called, where are you? Mirror Force Launcher, which is a real card that is eventually going to come out. I thought it was pretty cool. If you destroy this face down card on the field, you get to add a Mirror Force card from your deck, put it on the field, and then you can set this card back face down. Very interesting idea to have some more support for the sort of Mirror Force archetype. I quite liked it. I think it was pretty cool. I, in all seriousness, like the idea of a couple antagonists in this series. They base their decks, not necessarily base their decks, but they have one trump card, which is a legacy card. So this is like one person goes, I have my ultimate card. Monster Reborn, I have my ultimate card. Giant Trunade, things like that. And one has Pot of Greed. He's got 3 Pot of Greeds in his deck. It's like, wow, a card that can let you draw 2 cards. How powerful is that? I like the idea of it. Some of you might disagree. It's just like fan service, but I kind of like it. Anyway, just before I end this review, guys, I just want to quickly say that I really like the fact that in this Master Duel, the zones are all on the field permanently. And I can't remember if that happened for any of the other duels, but this one specifically, I noticed it anyway. And I thought, why wouldn't they do this for all the other things, all the other episodes that we've had? Because the zones help with the understanding of where the link markers are pointing to and everything. So I really preferred having the zones on the field visually. I thought that was a big thing. And also I noticed the animation was stepped up for this duel, and the next episode the animation looks fantastic. I saw like Revolver drawing, some of the facial animations, looks absolutely fantastic. But guys, I thought the episode was really good, a solid 9 out of 10 from me. I don't know why I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10, but I think a 9 sounds just about right. Guys, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. What do you think of Ryoken's true human face, his IRL face, if you will. Let me know what you think of Dr. Kagami's and Revolver's motives. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Are you sympathetic? Let me know in the comment section below, guys. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and see you later.